Okay, I'm gonna just do this by the fly. Lots of stuff I thought about originally, and I'll just kind of think of things when I go through. But I'm kind of glad that I did this after doing your maternity pics because then you can kind of see, maybe visualize what I'm talking about when I describe something. Obviously, families and little kids are a little bit different, but and if you hear Gwen complaining in the background, I apologize. So overall, super cute, and I'm sure they're like a laid back family, so I feel like it was a good one to start with. And just to start off, I don't know if you did this on purpose, but this blanket was a good choice just because if you would have sat her in the grass, all of these shadows underneath her chin would have been green and her skin would have looked gray. So this is a good choice. It kind of just naturally reflects the sun because it seems overcast here. So that was a good choice. It's always nice to have a blanket in the back of your car just in case you need it, and you can obviously use your blanket. That way, you're not using like a bright pink or orange blanket or something. Overall, I think like they don't seem too worried about getting ones where everybody's looking at the camera. Like you have a few good ones, but it's always like less stressful when you like make sure that's initially communicated. Like, okay, we're just gonna have fun, and if we get a few natural poses looking at the camera, that's good. Obviously, like moving locations, these are great opportunities to get new shots of them, like walking and just movement. What else? This is cute. I can't tell what lens you're using. Maybe the 50, but you could tell me too. Maybe it was your 28 to 75 because that's pretty versatile too for portraits. One thing, like, just this takes practice, but like years of practice for girls to, if you have their hips facing like pushed away from you, so like they seem thinner that way. Like girls are really picky about that kind of stuff, especially brides. But just one thing. So if her opposite leg was popped, so if this knee was bent and then this one was straight and going away from like towards the water, she would. Not that she's self-conscious, but like just people automatically look at themselves in photos. So she would have maybe liked it better. Obviously, she probably loves it, but like, of course, I'm being critical. But just figure girls are hard, and so if you do as much as you can to make sure that they feel like they look good in the photos, then they're gonna love them more. Because most of the time, like even though yes, her daughter is amazingly cute, she's going to think about what she looks like in this photo, and that's not just this one, just every single one. And I think that's why moms like the more natural, like the giggly, unexpected moments than they do the posed ones because of how they look in photos. These, I can tell it. You're shooting lower than them, so I don't know if you're bending down or if you're squatting. But I don't know if you noticed, like if you guys were lower than me, I didn't have you guys sit at all, but his knees are closer to you, so it makes them look bigger. So if you were standing and angling yourself a little bit higher than them, then it makes their head proportionate to the rest of their body. So like it's more flattering to have their shoulders and their head more wide than the rest of their body. So it's hard when they're sitting. So even when they're on the ground, you don't want to be level with them. You want to be a little bit higher. This is super cute. The only thing I would say, and I know you showed me this print, it's a little overexposed for my taste, but that's my taste. I would just think, I'm thinking since it's overcast, if you would have had her, now obviously she's a little toddler, so like obviously you're just getting whatever you can get because she's moving around. But if you see how her eyes are so dark, it's probably because the sun is somewhere behind the clouds behind her, maybe, I'm guessing. So if she was facing the other way, then her eyes would have been lit up. Even with this nice sidewalk reflection, when it's overcast, you really have to know where the sun's position is. That way you can have them face the sun instead of like what I said before, where if the sun's out, like during golden hour, you want to be like 90 degrees from it, just to get that nice soft light obviously, because you know that I like the, like, where's that one that you did? Like, see here how the sun is behind you, them, and so you get these nice highlights on their head. And right here, like these were really, the sun, you could tell, peeked out a little bit, and I really liked these more just because it had these nice highlights. So that's hard to learn when it's overcast, to remember, like, okay, so they can face the sun because it's covering clouds. So it's a nice diffuse light, and then it helps with the shadows. Let me find another one. Let's see. See how this, yeah, see the sun's behind them. So this is, it's diffused, but it's still darker. So the sun seems low enough here, because this is obviously the end of your shoot, that they come in walking the opposite way, and her face wouldn't have been as much shadow on it. Let's see. These are really the only ones that I can tell, like, with it being diffused the wrong way. Let's see. Yeah, this is cute though. Looks nice on her face. So the sun, I think, is coming from this direction. So it's hard to know with toddlers. Like, you just want to get what you can get, because they're fast and they move around and turn around. And so I'm just being critical, just so you can be aware when you have someone that, maybe an older kid that can listen better. So you can see, this is really cute. Like, this one needs framed. And this, you can tell, like, she's kind of, her hips are going away from you. So, like, I can already tell this is more flattering. What else? Overall, though, like, this is exposed nice. Like, you did a really good job for saying you don't have enough practice with changing settings and stuff. Overall, it's a consistent session where there's nothing, like, too, like, underexposed, or it's just learning. You obviously have an eye for it, just learning why you have the eye for it and why you're putting them in that setting. And it's hard to learn. It's taken me years to learn, just to look at a space and know where to put them and why. Like, why am I choosing that space based on? And sometimes that takes, like, okay, I'm going to put them in this spot, and then I'm going to rotate them 360 degrees until I get the right picture that I want. So, like, you could take this shot and then have them turn, take another one, turn, do another one, and then look at your camera and be like, okay, well, I like the style of this one the best based on where the sun is, and then do that. So not saying you have to follow technical rules, but if you find a space where you like the light coming in, then do that. Like, you can do whatever you want. It's just the practicing in that, and having, good friends that are willing to be flexible and let you learn on their family, which is how I started too. One thing you can do too, like having them turn and seeing how you like the light on their face, you can also hold up your hand and you can tell, like, the brighter side. So where the sun is when it's overcast, you can decide, okay, I'm going to put my client and have them face this way, that way. I can get that nice diffused light in their face and it's not dark. And then same thing for when the sun is out during golden hour and you want that nice highlight behind them. It just makes the photo pop. You can kind of position them, do you want the sun directly behind? Probably not, but a little bit to the side, or even more, 90 degrees. And you can mess around with that. I can kind of show you. I'll look at Angie's stuff too. Oh, there's that logo. Looks good. Okay, I'll show you mine too. I literally today just went through my Pixie set and deleted a bunch of family stuff because I just don't want it on there anymore, and like from 3 years ago. But this family I do almost every year. I have another one scheduled for this summer, but they're good friends, and her family keeps growing. But I'll just kind of show you, like, I love the session, but I also would do it completely differently. The beach is hard because it's so bright, but it's nice because it's perfect for skin tone. The sand is a nice reflector. It's that organic style that a lot of people like, which I like. I've had my family pics done there. This is in Cleveland at Headlands. But I can already tell, like, we got to the beach too early, like I planned horribly. So this is way blown out. So some of them I kept, but most of them the one like I tried to keep the least amount of sky in a lot of them. But so I'm standing pretty far away from them, I think, because I probably have my 85 on. But a lot of them I'm standing over them. That way I can get more of the grass in the background and not the sky because it's blown out. It's way too bright. Obviously August, so it was probably, with babies, I probably started it too early thinking about bedtime, but in August I probably shouldn't have started it till like 8 o'clock. So let's see. See, here's these highlights. So the sun is in the right position. It needed to wait an hour for it to be like absolutely perfect. Obviously she doesn't know this. She thinks these are great, but like see here, this looks terrible to me because it's just a straight line just blown out and they're standing. So a lot of the ones like this poor tree, like it doesn't look like that, but it was so bright. But you can still like the sand is a really nice, like they don't look gray. It's a nice warm tone. So it wasn't terrible, but I'm being critical. Like this is too much. And I could have, like back in 2013, I used to fill in like Photoshop clouds in for like ones that I really loved, and because it was before I knew that maybe I shouldn't have been shooting with it overexposed like that. So lesson learned, I guess. A lot of these, Jackie, she loves the one like the pose where everybody's smiling. So like, she just likes the posy ones. So I try and do different combinations of every sibling and just them two. And I can tell you she probably didn't love these because of her legs, but she probably loved this one because I cut that off. I went horizontal. I forget how old Aaron is, but he's little, so he's probably not even 3 months. So I brought this basket. Trying to think what else I was going to say. Even here, like this is the water, and it's still too bright. Like we started in the dunes, then we went to the water. It was still way too bright, but the beach, this part of the beach is just really nice for skin tone, so that's why we were there. These are super cute. Like I want to do this so badly with my kids. Just you can tell it's nice and even. It's not my typical, contrast bright, more shadows, but it's definitely, it's all one tone. I think that's why I like it, because it's a little bit different. Now I switched, see, because the sun's getting lower. It might have been behind some clouds at this point. Maybe not. I can't remember. But so now it's a different type of style just because it's not diffused light. It's the light coming on them from the sun directly. So, but obviously this looks much better because it's exposed correctly. Yeah, it's just so bright. Like this is okay because you can't see the horizon. That's still overexposed. Then we start turning. So the sun sets over here. So now that it's out of my frame, but like now I'm getting the horizon over here. So this is the perfect angle in my opinion. So this is where I want the sun over here. This diffused light off the sand. The water is exposed correctly, and then I still get this nice line. So this is where I should have been. See, then I started having them just walk up and down that way because I knew I liked that shot. So then I'm going to have, okay, let's keep doing that. Let's just get some angles where it's the shoreline with the horizon and it's exposed correctly. This is so cute. Okay, what else was I gonna... Okay, in Lightroom, the split toning I wanted to show you. This, I don't know all the terms or why I do what I do, but I remember Caitlin James is the one that did a video on it. But this is the saturation is a percentage, so for the highlights and the shadows. So you can, I'm gonna reset this. So that's, let's see. That's out of camera, but it's got a, let's see. Nope, yeah, that's out of camera. So it looks green to me. So it's not terrible, but once I add in, I have this skin and curves preset. So the curves I have set to this. It's like a backwards C, and you can adjust obviously for every photo, but that's what I start with on each one, just based on my style. And then I have it automatically go to these numbers. So this hue, you want it in the orange, yellow range, depending on what your subject is. But obviously, if you want to go stylistic, you can do these different things. But for the most part, around there. And then the highlights, I have the percentage up higher just because that's what I liked. So depending on, if you're in a setting where the
Who are you talking to?
I'm talking to Nate. If you're in a setting...
Can I say hi to Nate?
Yeah, say hi to Nate.
Where is he?
No, him. In here. Say hi, Nate.
Hi, Nate.
I'm making him a video.
Can I help? I'm a good helper.
You are a good helper.
Well,
I'm almost done. Can you color me a picture with this purple pen?
Yeah. Does it have colors?
Mm-hmm.
It has colors.
Sorry about that. Okay. So the highlights, I have the percentage a little bit higher just based on my taste. Then the shadows also, you can add in the percentage, same kind of coloring. You can see in here, like they have some presets, but this is like, what is this? This is, oh, it's 10. Okay, so it just gives you different preset numbers. Like this is more yellow. This is a little bit more orange, blue. So it has some presets up here, but you can obviously choose whatever you want.
Hey, Mama, I love blue.
You like blue?
Yep.
Okay, I'm almost done. Just can you make a picture for me? So that's great. So based on what you like, but this definitely makes a huge difference with skin tone, because before I think I was messing with these mostly, and then
Mama,
this temperature and tint. Is it not working? You have to be careful with it. Mostly because I didn't. So the white balance is important, but it's not everything. Like this isn't gonna change the shadows and the highlights separately. It's gonna just overall make it something. So I tend to stick around between 5,000 and 6,000 based on how I like warmth. The magenta I kind of have pumped up. I think because, a lot of, especially now, I'm shooting a lot of green. So I like to pump up the magenta because the skin pops a little bit more. She looks a little bit pink. So maybe I'll pump this up. Oops. So that's split toning, like in a very informal kind of figure it out kind of way. But it certainly changed my editing for sure. I'm trying to think what else. These are my greens. So the skin and curves preset, I also have it set so my greens are changed a little bit. So I don't like them super bright and I don't like them super yellow like that. Because sometimes when you shoot in low light, like I'll show you, like this low light, the sun was going down, but it was still really bright. So it was like orange almost on the ground. So I'll show you this one. Oops. Maybe this one's better. So see how it's pretty yellow still? So I could bump it up more if I wanted to and just get rid of yellow here. And that tends to go towards the dark and moody trend, which no one likes.
There's a picture, Mama.
So, how did I get that back? Thank you, Gwen. I'm almost done. Oh, here it is.
Can I talk to Marty too?
It's not Marty, it's Nate. So here you can change it and make it really minty, or you can go, like you can mess with this in the fall, which is kind of fun. So if you already have fall colors on the leaves, you can enhance it a little bit more, make it more orangey. But I definitely I gravitate towards the minty greens, and then I just get rid of some yellow.
Too.
Oh, thank you. So that's the only thing I kind of mess with there. Sometimes you can get away with messing with blue, like if you're inside and you haven't changed the white balance and you have a window and the tungsten light in there, then you get these orange hues and blue hues from the natural light. You can kind of mess with that, but that's not an ideal situation. I always default to making it black and white if I'm stuck in a hotel room like that. But yeah, so I hope that was helpful. I forget what else I was going to say. Oh, I was going to look at Angie's. These were super fun, and I love the location. And I think you did a really good job just like seeing where, okay, the light's coming down, like let's face this way. Asphalt's really good for it's just a nice reflector. Like you don't want grass for the most part, ever. Unless the sun is low enough to where it's golden hour. But Angie's were really cute, and you could just tell they're fun, so that makes it easier to work with people that like what they're doing, because sometimes you just deal with kids that don't want to be there, so it's harder. These I love. The line of this is really fun. Lines like that are attractive to the naked eye. Like this, I would have never, like I'm sure they did this on their own.
Hey, Mama, just like Andy on Carmen.
Okay, yeah. But like, I would have never thought to do this, or like, I don't know. It's just so good. So maybe just letting them be kids and just being ready is part of it. But like, I love this. This is perfect. This is cute.
Mama, make a hole.
Same thing. So here,
Hey, Mama,
you're far enough away that it's not too noticeable, but to me it's noticeable. So if you might be standing, but even if you were getting a little bit closer and then angling down, like towering over them almost, so that her knees seem smaller than they are, and her shoulders and her head would look bigger. So, oh, go ahead, don't do that. You're gonna break my pen. And these are really cute. I love the movement ones. And this I still love, even though the sun's on them, but it's a nice angle, and it's not too dark of a shadow on the other side. This is good too. So the same line is attractive, and that helps, draw the eye. But even like I'm drawn to like the square ones, like so it's straight, as long as not an overblown horizon like my beach ones, but like these straight lines I'm attracted to too. It just has to be the right setting. See here, yeah, they're lower than you, which is fine. Like it's fun and different. And this is a cool line coming in. This is good. You're still lower than them, but it's still like she's placed perfectly, because she's, maybe hiding a self-conscious area that ladies have, myself included. So like putting her there, and maybe it wasn't done with intention, but I'm gonna give you credit. She's gonna love this one more because she's posed perfectly. Basically, her leg looks long. She's kind of hidden. There's good posture. Whereas here, her hips coming towards you, so she might not love that because she's gonna say, "Oh, my leg." Okay. Same thing here. Yeah, these are really good. These are funny. It's always good to have boys do crazy things. Even this, like I know it's a power line, but it really, like it's a line that's drawing you. So yeah, overall, and you can't compare families because like if you had taken the drum family to this location, they still would have been good, but it's just like it's hard to compare like which is better than the other, like based on you did the drum family first. But this is a really cool location. But overall, the skin tone and everything looks really good on these. Part of it is because you're not in green and grass and stuff, so it's easier to get nicer skin tones in that kind of setting. So like here you can tell, since it's green and there's only
Hey, Mama,
reflective
can you
light on
draw a
them.
monster? I like monsters.
So they're looking a little bit more
Mama,
gray.
draw a monster.
I can't right now. Go ahead.
I can't draw
I'm almost done.
monster.
I know, I'm almost done. So this I would only say like it's more of a gray tone just because of the green, and there's no it's more shadow than direct light on them. Let's see. I think that's it. Gwen's gonna be mad at me because I keep telling her I'm almost done. So overall, like, let me know if you have any questions on what I said. Like, I told you, like, it's easy to be critical of your own or of someone else's work, but I hope you can see, like, and you can go look at this session too, but just the evolution of, like these I didn't love because I just didn't like the lighting. Like, it was just not perfect. So, like, moving to this, like, this I like much better because it's even. And then discovering, like, okay, I like this, we're going to shoot this way now because the angle is more even, the light's where I want it. So that's why sessions are an hour or 2 hours long, because I need to, eventually find the perfect setting. And then those are the ones that I absolutely love, and all the other ones are just bonus because obviously she's going to love these, but just because it's technically not right doesn't mean I'm not going to include it. So, all right. I'll see you guys soon.